Okay, we are back here to continue what we were learning in our previous class about simple, complex, and compound sentences. Let me share the screen to go back to the page where I was doing it with you. So you can see my screen, I think, and we had completed 6 sentences to revise what we did in our previous class. Let me review it with you. The first thing we learned was, just a second. I request all of you to stay in the mute mode unless and until towards the end of the class I'll give you the chance to unmute yourself and ask if you have any questions. So this is what we learned in our previous class. We learned the difference between a phrase and a clause, and we understood that a phrase is that part of a sentence that does not have a verb, and clause is that part of a sentence that has a verb. Verb is an action word, and there are two types of clauses, the main clause and the subordinate clause. We understood that the main clause is that clause that can stand on its own and it can make a complete sentence with sense on its own, but a subordinate clause is that which does not make a complete sentence on its own and it depends on the main clause for it to gain some meaning or sense or context. That is what we learnt. And then we had also learnt the difference between the simple, complex and compound sentences. And we understood that a simple sentence is that sentence which has one main clause compulsory, and optional is phrase. Either it can be there or need not be there. We also learnt that the complex sentence is that sentence which has minimum one main clause and one subordinate clause. Optional is more subordinate clauses can be there, phrases can be there, but more main clauses cannot be there, because if more than one main clause is there, then it will convert into then it will be called a compound sentence. Now let us see what is a compound sentence. We already learned that compound sentence is that which has minimum two main clauses. It can have more main clauses, it can have subordinate clauses, as well as it can have phrases, and it is generally joined by a conjunction, and conjunction is a joining word. And then we identified sentence 1 to 6. Seventh sentence, let us see. I guess that she just doesn't respect you. So somebody had a doubt in the previous class that how can this sentence be called as a complex sentence, or why is it that I guess is the main clause and she just doesn't respect you is not the main clause. So let me explain that to you once again. In this sentence, I guess itself has complete meaning, but like for example, when you ask somebody a question, let us say, do we have communication skills in English class today at 8 o'clock? I guess so. I guess so means yes, I think so. So in that way, I guess means yes, and yes is a, a, a word that gives you complete meaning. In that way, it is a main clause, and the word that was omitted actually in the original sentence, because when we speak, that is the word that is understood. Even when we write, that is understood. When you ask a question, what? I guess what? You're asking a question, what do you guess? And you get the answer that she just doesn't respect you. So in that case, she just doesn't respect you is an answer. When you ask the question what, then it becomes a, a noun clause. There are many types of subordinate clauses. There is a noun clause, adverb clause, adjective clause. Um, when you are talking about a description of a place where we went, then that becomes an adverbial clause of place. When you are describing a person, when you are describing a noun, then it becomes a noun clause, then it becomes an adjective clause. But when you get an answer to the question what, then it becomes a noun clause. And a noun clause is not a main clause. A noun clause is a subordinate clause. I hope I have cleared cleared the doubt of the student who wanted to ask me. Let us now proceed to the eighth sentence. I have got four sisters and each of them is quite different from the others. So in this sentence, who can tell me what type of a sentence is it?
Miss,
Yes.
I can. It is a compound sentence.
Okay, how do you call it a compound sentence? Can you
Um,
explain?
yes, miss. I have got four sisters is a complete sentence in its own. So it's a one main clause. I
Hmm,
have got is the verb
hmm.
and is the conjunction. Each of them is quite different from the other is another complete sentence. Is the verb here.
Very good. Perfect. The explanation is perfect. You have rightly identified that there are two main clauses in the sentence. The number of main clauses is identified with the number of verbs or action words in the sentence. And you rightly identified that the two verbs in the sentence are have got is the first verb and is the second verb. And is the conjunction that is joining two main clauses. So it is a compound sentence. Perfect. We can next go to the ninth sentence. You can either come with me now or walk home. Who can give me the answer of this sentence? You can either come with me now or walk home.
Ma'am, it's a compound sentence.
Hmm. Yes,
And
Purti, explain how.
uh, because these can be two different sentences. First one is you can either come with me now
Okay.
or walk home. So or here can be a conjunction,
Hmm.
and can here is the one verb, now is the other one.
No, no. Now is not a verb, but can you tell me which is the second verb?
Walk.
First, walk, right. Walk is the second verb and come is the first verb. Very
First
good.
verb.
Thank you. Now, I will add something more to what Purti has said. Purti has rightly identified that this is a compound sentence with two main clauses. But I would say here that the conjunction here is not just or. The conjunction here is either or. Either dot
Mm.
dot dot or.
Yes.
So that is the conjunction here. And if either or is the conjunction, you can come with me now is the first main clause. You can walk home is the second main clause. Now, you can is common to clause 1 and to clause 2. That is why you can comes in both the clauses. So if somebody asks me, please identify what are the two main clauses, my answer would be you can come with me now is the first main clause. You can walk home is the second main clause and either or is the conjunction. So this is also a unique way of joining two sentences, that is having two words that form a conjunction. And this I will write down as a compound sentence. Let us go to the next one. He will never leave home because he hasn't got the courage to. Who can answer me this question? This
Miss,
who
I
can?
can.
Yes, please.
He will never leave home is one main clause because it's a conjunction again, and he hasn't got the courage is another main clause. So it's a compound sentence.
Are you sure that because is a conjunction?
Mm,
Because is giving you a reason.
okay.
Okay, and reason is a subordinate clause.
Okay, miss.
Okay, thank you for trying. And please note, you have conjunctions such as and, or, either or. These are even but. But is a conjunction. He likes coffee, but I like tea. Okay, so even but is a conjunction. So these are all conjunctions, but because is a word that actually makes the second part of the sentence a dependent clause or a subordinate clause. So in this sentence I would say that he will never leave home is the first main clause, is the main clause, wherein will never leave is the verb, and then because is giving a reason, so that makes it an adverb clause of reason. And because he hasn't got the courage to means what? Courage to leave home, that is understood. That is why we are not repeating leave home, because he doesn't hasn't got the courage to is complete there itself. So that becomes a subordinate clause, and one main and one subordinate clause makes it a complex sentence. Okay, let us try sentence number 11. When all else fails, read the user manual. Who can give me the answer? What type of a sentence this is?
Ma'am, this is a complex sentence
Vanshika, can you explain how is it complex?
because it has one dependent clause and one independent clause. All else fails is the dependent clause, and read the user manual is the independent clause. And it
Correct.
has a subordinating conjunction at the beginning when.
Exactly. Now, if you see here, she has given the exact explanation. Read the user manual is the main clause. It can stand on its own. When all else fails is the subordinate clause. And which type of subordinate clause? When adverb clause of time. That makes it one main and one subordinate clause as a complex sentence. Correct. Let me now go to the 12th sentence. It was Sam who paid for the drinks. Who can answer this sentence? It was Sam who paid for the drinks.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it is a simple sentence
It is a simple sentence. How can you explain how it is a simple sentence, Jinal?
because there is only one main clause and nothing else. Like it was Sam who paid for the drinks.
Mm.
Uh,
But can you identify the verb?
paid.
Is there any other verb in this sentence?
Yes, was.
So two verbs are there. Two verbs means how many clauses are there?
Two clauses.
If two clauses are there, then it cannot be a simple
Simple.
sentence. It can either be complex or compound. Now, can you identify and tell me whether it is a complex or a compound sentence?
It is Sam.
Hmm.
Ma'am, complex because It was Sam is not even a. It is not a complete sentence.
But is it a main clause?
Ma'am, can I make a guess?
Yes.
It's a compound sentence and the word who is a subordinate clause.
But if it is subordinate, then how is it compound? Compound may two main clauses have to be there, na?
It was Sam is a main clause
Ma'am,
and paid for the drinks is subordinate clause.
Correct. You are right. It was
Therefore, it's a
Sam.
complex sentence.
Yes, it is a complex sentence. It was Sam is the main clause. Who paid for the drinks is the subordinate clause. Who paid for the drinks is actually describing the person Sam. Not exactly in terms of physical description, but the person who paid for the he is that person who paid for the drinks. So it is a added information about Sam. That is why it becomes an adjective clause. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause. And as you rightly mentioned, one main and one subordinate clause makes it a complex sentence. Correct. Thank you for the answer. Now I'd like to ask you, still focus on the last sentence, because somebody was saying it does not look like a complete sentence. It was Sam is the main clause, right? All right, it was Sam. For example, I asked, who was it who paid for the drinks? And then your answer is it was Sam. That is giving complete meaning. That is how it is called as a main clause, because I'm asking a question, who is it who paid for the drinks? It was Sam. All right. Or I can simply answer Sam paid for the drinks. But then if I say Sam paid for the drinks, I am converting the complex sentence into a which type of a sentence?
simple.
Simple sentence.
Yes. Now let us see. I am going to convert this into a simple sentence so you can easily understand the difference between the sentences. Sam paid for the drinks. Now this becomes a simple sentence because only one verb is there, which is the verb. Paid is the verb. I have removed the verb was. So in the exam, if you get this sentence, Sam paid for the drinks, convert this into a complex sentence. You would wonder, phrase ही नहीं है, किसको convert करूं complex sentence में? How can I convert it into a clause? We have generally learned that when we convert the phrase of the compound sentence by adding into a clause, by adding a verb, then we can convert it into a complex sentence. But see, this is the way you convert it into a complex sentence, by saying it was Sam who paid for the drinks. You understood the difference between the two sentences? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, can anybody in this class convert sentence number 11? When all else fails, read the user manual into a simple sentence. You have when all else fails subordinate clause and read the user manual main clause. You can convert one clause into a phrase. And if you convert it into a phrase, then we will have one main clause and one phrase, and we can make it a simple sentence. One more hint I'm giving, that you can retain the main clause as it is and only try converting the subordinate clause into a phrase. Try and tell me, how will you convert this into a simple sentence?
Read the user manual
Hmm?
when all fails.
But that is again complex only, na? Only you have taken first part and put it in second part. But the verb remains the same. The clauses remain the same. How can you convert? All right. When you want to convert the clause into a phrase, you have to remove the verb. All right. If verb is there, then only it can be called a clause. Na? If verb is not there, and if we make it into prepositional phrase, I mean without a verb, then it will become simple. So think of a way by which you can remove the verb, just as we removed in sentence number 12. But that was very easy. This is slightly difficult because you are going to convert it into a prepositional phrase. One last time, would anybody like to try?
Read the user manual
Uh,
uh, on failing, uh,
uh-huh.
something like that.
On
Ma'am,
failing, yes.
is it read the user manual if all else fails?
But if all else or when all else, both are converting it into subordinate clause only, na? Instead of when, you have replaced it into if. But then, if all else fails also, again fails is verb, na? If verb is there, then it is still subordinate.
Miss, can it be like read the user manual on failing?
Failing means then you are failing, all else is not failing.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Then meaning is changed.
only read the user manual.
Now can it be that way?
But then, how can you omit a part of a sentence?
Okay.
You can't omit, na? And that also they are giving you a condition. You read the user manual only if everything else fails. Otherwise, you don't need to read the user manual. But if you just omit the first part, that means read the user manual any which ways. Whether things are working or failing, you read the user manual. So we have changed the meaning of the sentence then.
Ma'am, can it be read the user manual after all else fails?
But then if you change it to when or if or after, everything is making it into subordinate clause only, na? Because verb to is definitely there. Fails is there. We have not changed the word fails. Okay, two hints I will give you. Try. The first hint is it has to be converted into a prepositional phrase. And second hint is somebody actually came close to the answer by using the word on failing. Who was it who gave me the answer on failing?
Miss me.
Yes.
Khushi.
Khushi gave me on failing, but Khushi, I would like you to try
Yes, miss.
by using it slightly differently. Begin the sentence with a preposition, but you
Okay.
keep the word fails to failing. Okay, because failing has the word ing and we are not going to use auxiliary verbs such as is failing, was failing, am failing. Then it will not be a verb. Okay, we
Okay.
already learned. Now, can you try by beginning it with a preposition?
On failing, read the user manual.
But then it is where on
Yes.
failing means you are failing. All right, let me give you the answer. I'm typing it out. In the event of all failing. Sorry, all else failing. In the event, now this is called a prepositional phrase. What is it? I have begun the phrase with the preposition in. In the event of means when. So in the event of all else failing, read the user manual. You see, can you all understand? Is there anybody in this class who cannot understand how this came about? Or why failing is not a verb? Why it is called a phrase? Failing is not a verb because whenever you have a word with ing, failing,
There's no helping verb.
there is no helping verb, then it is not a verb. If there is a helping verb, is failing, was failing, am failing, are failing, were failing, any of these 5 helping verbs are there. then only failing is a verb, otherwise it is not a verb. That is why in the event of all else failing is a phrase and not a clause. Then we can call it a simple sentence. Now let me give you, choose another one sentence. And
Miss,
yes.
before that, you were telling about two hints that you were giving us. First is to convert into a prepositional phrase. What was the second one?
The second hint was that somebody came close to the answer by using the word fails to failing. So that was the hint that your try was
Okay.
right. I
Okay.
wanted to say your try was right, almost there.
Okay, miss. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody can try converting 10th sentence complex sentence into a compound sentence. Compound with two main clauses. The 10th sentence says, he will never leave home because he hasn't got the courage to. And while trying out this sentence, you had thought that because is a conjunction. I said it's not a conjunction joining two main clauses. It is
It's a
making
subordinate
the,
clause.
yeah, it is making it a subordinate clause. Now, can somebody try to use the correct conjunction so that and convert the sentence into a compound sentence by making it two main clauses?
He will never leave home since
Okay.
he has not got the courage to.
But since and because both are same, na? So it is still a subordinate clause. Who else can try?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can it be he hasn't got the courage, so he will never leave home?
He hasn't got the courage.
Courage, so he will never leave home.
Yes, it is right, but instead of so, I would like to put and so.
Okay.
And then I would like to make a minor adjustment in that sentence by saying, he hasn't got the courage to leave home and so he will never do. Or we can keep it as you said, he hasn't got the courage and so he will never leave home. Correct? Your answer is right. He hasn't got the courage, comma, and so he will never leave home. And so we can now say that this is a compound sentence. Okay, you are doing well. You can either come with me now or walk home. Can you try to convert it into another type of a sentence? Either or. It is a compound sentence. Either you give me an answer for converting it into simple or try converting it into complex. Which can you try? Yes. Okay, let us try changing it into complex. Make it complex. Convert one clause into a subordinate clause.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can it be you can either come home or else walk home?
But that is the sentence, na? Convert it into a complex.
Miss,
You don't. Yeah.
Miss, what about you can come with me now rather than walking home.
You can come with me, but then what you are doing, you can come with me now rather than walking home, is you are suggesting that the person does not walk home but come with you. Correct? But the sentence is actually giving you freedom of choice. I am not suggesting that you should come with me, and I am not suggesting that you should walk home. I am giving you a perfectly free choice. But when you convert it into rather than walking home, you can come with me now rather than walking home, that means you are suggesting don't walk home, just come with me. So then you are changing the meaning of the sentence.
Ma'am,
That
can I make a guess?
Yes, please.
You can either choose to come with me now or walk home.
But then either come with me or either choose to come with me. Still it is making it a main clause only, na? Verb to is there.
Ma'am,
Yes.
if you come with me now, you
Mm?
cannot walk home.
Or you can change it to, if you don't come with me now, you can walk home. Can we put it that way? Instead of saying cannot go, cannot walk home, instead of putting not over there, can we put not in the first part of the sentence?
Yes.
And that will make it a correct answer. Can I know your name, please?
Vanishri.
Vanishri, well done. You have given me the correct answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you don't come with me now, you can walk home. If you don't come with me now, you can walk home. So the first half is a subordinate clause and the second half is the main clause. And one main and one subordinate makes it a complex sentence, and the word if makes it a subordinate clause. Otherwise, if the word if was not there, then it would be a main clause. Now we can call it a complex sentence. Let us try something else. Let us go to the 8th sentence. I have got 4 sisters and each of them is quite different from the others. It is compound. I'll give you a challenge. Convert this into a simple sentence.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Each of my 4 sisters are different from one another.
Well done. Very well done. Can I know your name, please?
Purti.
Purti, very well done. Each of my
4 sisters.
Yes. 4 sisters is
Very
quite
different. Quite
no
different.
we can keep the same word, quite
from one another.
different. Yes, very good. Oh, each. So now I can call it a simple sentence. You can convert it the same sentence into a complex sentence. The same sentence. I have got 4 sisters and each of them is quite different from the others. Convert it into complex.
Miss, I have got 4 sisters who are quite different from each other.
Yes, very well. But then instead of